If you haven't figured out by now, these are all old Boy Scout or Girl Scout books. These are by far the only books related to bushcraft and survival that you'll ever need. Now, these books can be picked up a lot of the times at thrift stores, yard sales, you know, antique stores. Now, if you pick up something like this up at an antique store, you're going to pay a premium for them. They're going to go for about 10 bucks a piece, but you can find these things at, like I said, thrift stores or, you know, Goodwill, yard sales. I didn't pay more than $1 for any one of these books. Now, the best book in the bunch by far is the Scout Field Book. It goes into the most detail as far as different survival things go. I got a couple things bookmarked here I'm going to share with you here in a couple minutes. But the reason that I say it's also important to pick up a Girl Scout book is because you have to keep in mind most of these books were written back in the 50s. I think that's all of these were written in the 50s. Some of them maybe the 60s. You'll come across some in the 60s as well, but most of them, the ones you're going to pick up are going to be from the 50s. And it's important because, again, America was a different place back then, and the genders were very much separated. So anyhow, I'm not going to get into some long political diatribe on that, but anyhow, the reason that it's important to pick up a Girl Scout book is because back then they specifically targeted the Girl Scout manual towards a lot of cooking and a lot of recipes and a lot of things like that, a lot of the more domestic type of things. So again, very, very great information in here, and again, a lot of little neat camp recipes that you will not find in the other books. In the Handbook for Boys, for example, you might find them in the some of them in the Scout Field Book. But again, pick up a Girl Scout book as well. Just a sign of the times. It is what it is. It's going to be an awesome addition to your library. If I've got any younger folks that are watching this video, which I seriously doubt, I'm just going to share a couple of the things that I bookmarked in this Scout Field Guide from a bygone era. Some of you might find amusing. Actually, some of you adults might find amusing as well. Anyhow, this one section here, this paragraph, where it says, "Make camping make you stronger and healthier. Swim and run and fight and play. Toughen your arms and chest by rowing and canoeing. Get your body covered with a glowing coat of tan that will help build hardness and resistance." I'm not exactly sure a lot of the people today would promote that, especially the tanning part. Maybe not the most culturally sensitive when they're talking about building and making Indian costumes. But again, this was a different era, folks. This was just a way that people used to live, especially, you know, boys were brought up to be more rugged, live a truly more self-reliant life. One other little part here about tanning that I thought was funny. If I can find it quickly without boring you too much by flipping pages. Look at that. Sun and fresh air. Right there, that one line says, "Suntanned skin is a sign of vigor and health." Interesting. So again, Scout Field Guide. This is your primary resource. This is truly the only bushcraft book you ever need. But again, to supplement this, if you can get your hands on a Girl Scout book, definitely add one of these to your library. This is another, it's a kind of, doesn't have all the same information that the Scout Field Book has in it. This is way more geared towards teenagers, growing up, learning manners, that kind of stuff, and then basically the philosophy of scouting in general. But again, it's got a lot of good information as far as hand signaling, light signaling, wayfinding, how to use a compass, all that kind of stuff. So when you're on the internet and you're seeing these guys and gals and whoever's out there selling books, you know, especially if they're in PDF form and they're selling these books for, you know, 10, 20, whatever, $30 a pop, you know, so they can make some money. And again, I'm not hating on them, just telling you the cold hard facts. Hit your local thrift store, grab you a couple of these old Scout books, and they will go a lot further in helping you live a more self-sufficient life than you're probably going to get from a lot of the more modern folks. Anyhow, just a quick little video. Thought I'd share that kind of stuff with you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you stuck with me, I appreciate it, and I'll see you later. Okay, the video's over. Get back to work. You've got stuff to do. You don't need to be hanging around here. But before you go, hey, how about hitting that thumbs up button? Or commenting below. I'd appreciate it.